I want to introduce to you a guitar, this tool that I've been using for quite a while. This is a Les Paul style guitar. You can tell just regular humbucker pickups in here, and you have the pickup switch. So yes, it looks like a Les Paul. But the secret, the magic to this guitar is through the knobs at the bottom. And the knobs, there's one for different models. So you can go through, and yes, it sounds like a Les Paul, but you can switch it so that it sounds like a Strat. So right there, I'm switching between a whole bunch of different models that are out there. You can make this sound like a Strat. You can make it sound like a Tele, Rickenbacker, a Gretsch. You can even make it sound like an acoustic if you want, or even a sitar if you want to get all kind of crazy weird. Whatever you want to do. And then the other knob that's on here is a, it'll switch the tuning on there. So you can do it on the fly. So you get standard E tuning. Drop D, and a whole bunch of other ones that are on there. So just nice. Switch. So what this gives you is flexibility. If you're recording, and say you're recording a whole bunch of different guitar parts and you're only one person, like me, you can go through and you can set it up. So you say, okay, I'm going to have my ES335 on the this side. I'm going to pan it, hard right, hard left. I'm going to have my Les Paul on the other side, and in the center, I'm going to have a Strat. So all I have to do is have this one guitar, and I can adjust all those. On top of that, this integrates really well with the Line 6 Helix. You can go through and actually control it through the Helix itself. You can program it, and you can set everything up so that with using just the buttons at the bottom on the Helix, you can go through and press a foot switch and then have everything completely set, different tuning, different guitar, and all that. So I've done it a certain way for when I do recordings, where I will go through, and I actually use this guitar as a DI only. So it kind of sounds a little odd, but it's really nice because I can go through and just have the pickups. And what I do is I have, like a Les Paul with P90s, and that gives me that nice bright sound that kind of cuts through, but a good rock sound on top of that too. It's a little bit thicker than a single coil. And then I'll have a different snapshot that I set up on the Helix for, humbucker Les Paul. And then I have a different one for Strat, for the bridge, one for the neck. And just so many different ways of being able to do it, and just nice to be able to change sounds on the fly. And then later I can take the Helix native and then add that to those DI tracks and sort of morph the sound so that the DI tracks, create the notes. I can hear the notes perfectly because it's DI, but then I'll sort of get an idea of the song. Like, do I need more distortion? Do I need certain effects to it? Things like that. And then I can add that through the Helix. So it's so freaking flexible. I can do anything I want to at any time. And yes, it's not, it's one of those things where it's not perfect. It's not going to sound exactly like a vintage guitar that's out there. Yeah, that's true. But just think about it like a Helix or, pods beforehand. I would say it's more like the Helix. But you're able to get close enough for the sound. Like for me, I feel like I can get 90, 95% there as far as the sound goes when I'm recording these tracks. I mean, just go back and listen to my music. This is what I'm using for a lot of the different things. I actually came up with a new song. It's called Room. And what I did is I might do a track breakdown of that one later on. We'll see about that. But with that one, I did the same thing where I wanted a certain kind of sound. We're going for, say, a grungy sound. And then I had my individual tracks, and I recorded DIs for it. Did the whole thing where I added Helix native to it later on, and sort of, carved out the sound. Got exactly how I wanted to do it. Yeah, so super, super, super flexible. I absolutely love this thing. And the way that it works, let me go here. This is the editor. So when you click on the guitar section here, there's a Variax tab. And in the Variax tab, you can see you have all the different presets. So there's Semi 1, that's like a ES335, Jazz Box, Acoustics, Resonator. There's all these different kind of guitar sounds in here. Chime, it's R. Billy, Special, Lester, which is Les Paul, Spank, that's pretty, it's a Strat. Telly's built into this as well too. And you can do custom ones as well too. So whole lot of different guitar sounds to it. So and then you can set it up so you can program your volume knob and your tone knob. A lot of times I'll actually turn those off so that you can't use the tone knob. I'm one of those. All I need is a volume knob, and even then it doesn't really matter as much. Below that, there is a tuning, which you can do presets for it, or you can adjust each individual string's tuning. So very, very, very flexible for being able to change all of these settings for the guitar. So up close here, just so you can see a little bit better, these are the controls. Here, this one is the one for different guitar amp models. This is the one for your tunings, and then your volume control, tone control, that's on there. Like I said, a lot of times I'll turn off the tone control and then just use just the volume. And it still has a pickup selector switch that you can adjust on there as well too. It's nice having the guitar pickups, the standard guitar pickups, so that you can use this as a standard guitar. And then here at the bottom, you can see there's the standard, 1/4-inch jack right there. And then this is the one. And you'll notice when I pull it out, there's no sound or anything like that because it just unplugs, which is kind of nice. There it is. Okay, yep. So you can see it is a network connection. It's just like a Cat5 cable. And just used, it's within a mic cable kind of outside, or the body of it. So it's kind of neat. And then you take it and plug it in here. I can't see exactly what I'm doing. Let me try and do that. Okay, so it opens up right there. You take it and you just pop it in, and that gives power from the network cable to the guitar itself. So the sad part to the story is that this ultra flexible guitar that can be used for recording, for live if you had the Helix, and just a really, really, it's actually a well-built guitar. A little heavy. I said it's not a perfect guitar. It doesn't have everything that I would ask for in a guitar. Now, just a suggestion, if there's ever going to be a remake of this, oh yeah, let me get to the main point here before I get into my wish list for something that doesn't exist. But yeah, unfortunately, with this guitar, is about 2 years ago they discontinued it. So there's still some used ones that are out there. I think there might be a couple on the Line 6 page, but they've been kind of going down a lot as far as what they have in stock. So yeah, I'm pretty much sure that this guitar is done. it's very unfortunate. And you're kind of wondering, why did this guitar fail? Why did it not make it? Why didn't people, guitarists accept it? Well, you know what? Guitarists are very, got to be careful what I say here. Traditional. They like things a certain very simple way normally. And I'll be honest, that's not a bad thing at all. If you want to just have a guitar and you want to have it, you want to just I want a guitar. I want to plug it in. I want to plug it directly to an amp, and that's all I want. I don't want any of this fancy stuff, these guitar effects, pedals, all that kind of stuff like that. I just want to make noise. Yes, it's a lot easier because in the world that we live in, there's just too many damn options for everything that's out there. And it drives me crazy sometimes too, because you're like, I just want to make music. I don't have, so many options for everything, all these presets, all this kind of other stuff. Well, I mean, that's true, but you also see other people that take it another direction, and they have this huge collection of guitars, like walls and racks and just guitars coming out of who knows where. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so these multi-millionaires, they're enjoying their guitar collection, and half of them don't probably even use the guitar. It's like a guitar museum where they just want to be able to show it off, like, hey, check out my guitar, trying to make up for other things. But you know what I'm saying. Yes, but there's plenty of people. It's just, sometimes you just want a guitar that is very simple. And I actually did that recently. I did a whole bunch of videos, and I used my Telecaster Deluxe with that's just right over there. And you know what? It felt so good to just sit there and just plug directly into this and not have to, adjust settings and stuff like that. But you know what? There's other days where I'm like, you know what? I want to get crazy. I want to get weird. Let's try this. Let's try that. I want to try this. I want to have a Les Paul here. I want to have a Gretsch there. Let's have an acoustic. Let's have a Strat for the, solo. I want to do all this other kind of stuff like that. I want to layer all these different sounds. Well, you know what? This is the perfect guitar for that, because you can do whatever the hell you want. You could sit there and just try a whole bunch of different things out. And if it doesn't work, you just delete the track. So if you want options that day and you're feeling kind of frisky, this is perfect guitar for you. This, to me, is the ultimate recording guitar for me. I can go through and, change pickups, change different sounds, and just try whatever the heck I want. It's great. Love it. So, but why did this guitar fail? There's a lot of different reasons. One thing that it took a little while to wrap my head around was the fact that with this guitar, yes, it looks like a Les Paul, but when you start changing the different sounds, you can make it sound like a Strat, but then it's just like the mind and the visual, it doesn't connect. You're like, oh, this is kind of weird, or making it sound like an acoustic guitar. So you know what? That took me some time to get used to. And a lot of people, they're not gonna put that much time into something to sort of figure things out. I mean, once you do, you understand the power of this thing. It's great. And also, if you use it with, say, a Helix, it makes it so much easier for programming and for, creating your sounds. And I just, like I said, I love the flexibility of being able to adjust things with a foot switch. Just very, very, very cool, which I use all the time for recording. And then the other thing with that is that just the acoustic sound by itself. So I can make the guitar switch to a different tuning, but if you hear the strings itself, the strings are still in standard. So it's sort of like when you get into a wonky tuning, let's say like a half step down or something like that, and you can still hear the acoustic strings ringing, just the natural sound of the strings. It sounds very dissonant, and it'll mess with your head basically. So that, to me, is the biggest thing. A way around that would be in-ear monitors if you're doing live, or just use headphones if you're in the studio. So that's why I think this is a good recording guitar overall, at least for me. So those are the biggest things. It's just the difference between what you see and what you hear can be a little different. But like I said, the flexibility of this thing is just being able to do what I want whenever I want, and having those options when I want them is great. If I don't want options that day, you know what? I take this guitar off, I put it back over in the rack, and I pull out my Tele or, whatever other guitar that I'm using. So yeah, if I want to go simple, just have another guitar. But this also frees me up. So I've saved so much money from investing in different guitars that would be cool to have and nice and create unique sounds. But this makes it so that I don't have to sit there and throw a whole bunch of money into a huge collection. So yeah, those are probably the big reasons, I would say, overall. So yes, this guitar did fail. It got discontinued. It's no longer around. You can buy them used. So I'm kind of wondering, will there be a resurgence with this guitar? Will people pick up used guitars and start using them, and all of a sudden you turn around and someone's made the most amazing album that's ever been made off of one of these? It's a possibility. This thing, like I said, if you take the time to figure it out and you unlock all the flexibility and the features that you have, there's some really creative guitarists. Hopefully I'm one of them. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I use this for my music and for videos and things like that. So yeah. So thanks for listening to me ramble about this guitar for a long time. Like I said, this is just, I use these tools. This is, of course, not sponsored. I don't do sponsorships or anything like that. This is just a guitar I've had for years. I wanted to tell people about it. And I love this thing. It's been great, and it's all over a lot of my more recent albums. I said I'd stopped using it on a couple of different ones because I wanted to sort of go back to the traditional guitar, but I'm kind of coming back into it. I put out a new song just earlier today called Room, and that's more of a grunge sound. So I wanted to go back to like the old days and kind of bring that back. So yeah, if you want to hear the different sounds that I could come up with, go back and listen to the song Room. It'll probably pop up somewhere over here as a suggested video. Yeah, with that one, I set it up with an ES335 on one side. I did the Les Paul with the P90s on the other side, and then I did a couple Strat guitars and a Telecaster guitar, because they're with the single coils, you can cut through the mix a little bit better for the lead parts. I probably could have done more than that, but it just, like I said, I was trying to fit it within the song, which is just a standard grunge song. And of course, I used a lot of the other things that I use, Addictive Drums for drums. I did Moto bass this time, since I'm switching over to, or at least I've recently switched over to Logic for at least the guitar stuff that I'm doing. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. I have a website, just AfterAudio.com. Got all my music on there, or just, check out the other songs that are on this channel. And yeah, let me know what you think about all that. So yeah, thanks for listening. I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. And yeah, go back and check these things out if they're still around. And I hope someone else can make some really cool music off of these, and that would be definitely kind of cool. So yeah, I'll see y'all. Take care.